Cream over it. What does it taste like? Well, I recommend that you try it. I really do. It's a lovely, lovely pudding.
Hydropathy, or hydrotherapy, was the late 19th century wellness craze. Water was good, fat was bad. Clean eating was in. Believers claimed water could purge impurities, stimulate the nerves, and improve digestion. Even Darwin spent months taking the waters in Malvern. From the Victorian spa towns came hydropathic pudding, a lighter dish that swapped the heavy-duty suet or pastry for simple bread and used lots of fruit to create a no-bake layer dessert that was good for the health-conscious Victorians. Initially layers of fruit and bread, it changed around the time of the First World War, possibly due to rationing, and the name changed to summer pudding, which is what we know it as today. You only need 3 things for this recipe, really. Some white bread, some summer fruits. I've got the frozen variety here, but you could use fresh, and some sugar. That's it. So without no further ado, let's get into this pudding. So I'm going to start by adding all my frozen fruits to this pan. So this is, there you go, there's one lot. This is a summer fruit mix. This is a summer fruit mix. So it's a blend of currants, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, whatever you've got going on really. And they're gonna sweat down in my pan until nice and soft. On with the heat. I'm gonna put it on a low heat. I'm gonna leave that there, stirring occasionally until it's all defrosted, got a bit of syrup going, and then we're gonna adjust. I'm gonna take a pudding basin. This is a 1 litre pudding basin, or a 2 pint if you will, and I'm going to line it with some cling film, so just ordinary cling film. And I'm going to hopefully pop it right in, she says. Don't worry if it overlaps, that's not the problem. It's not an issue for this dessert. It's just there to enable us to get our dessert out of the bowl, because it can prove an issue if you don't line your bowl. If you don't have any cling film, you could use tin foil, but cling film's more neutral. Okay, so that's our bowl lined. I'm going to pop that there for a moment, and we're going to slice up some bread. Now we need the bread to line our bowl here. So I've got medium sliced bread in here. You need about 6 to 8 slices. And we're going to first of all cut off all the crust. We don't want the crusts. So I'm going to take my knife and slice off the crusts, which I'm not very good at, as you can see, probably because I didn't do that. And that way on as well. You can do this individually if you wish, you know, I'm just doing this for time, that's all. So by individually, I mean one at a time. It's not vital that we do it my way. You could save the crusts to make another dessert that I have on my channel. Right, just get rid of those. Take your mould, and we're going to work out how big our mould is, and that, to be fair, with the crust off, just sits nicely in there. So we're going to run with that. Sometimes that doesn't happen and you need to be a bit more, you know, inventive. But before we do that, we're going to make a base for our mould, and that looks about, I don't know, a large, one seems to have misplaced one's cookie cutters. This is the largest of my cookie cutters, and yes, it fits. So I'm going to cut out of my bread the base of my mould and pop that in. Okay, that's that bit done. one side for a moment, and then we're going to pop our bread in and push down. Pop it on. Now then, when you put the next one in, overlap it slightly on your last piece of bread, because you're going to need to make sure there are no edges free, so because we don't want our fruit to seep through. As you can see, just press it into place. It's fine that way. And then take another one, do the same thing, overlap it slightly and push down. And make sure you get it in line with the base at the bottom. And again, this one will doubtless overlap these bits, so we want to push it in as best we can. And there will be bits, always, don't worry, of this that seem to have bits missing. Don't worry, just take your bread, cut a slice out, a small slice like so, and pop it in. And that should stop any seepage into. It's just like a little jigsaw, if you will. And just check it as you go around. Oh, there's a little hole in the bottom there, so I'm going to use a little bit of bread to cover that in. I don't want any holes, because it'll make our mould not come out. So if you feel like you need to reinforce the base, that's okay, just do that. There we go. So that's our base finished for now. I've been stirring this a few times and it is getting there. As you can see, there's juice starting to flow. We just need the strawberries to engage. And once they're at the state where they are defrosted, I'll cut them up a little bit. Try not to smush your fruit up. We don't want that. We just want it to be whole. If you want to add some fresh fruit to this, then feel free. I'm going to, at the end, add some fresh raspberries that I've got lying around. So my strawberries are defrosted and I've given them a bit of a chop with the knife. And I'm going to pop my raspberries in. Give them a stir. And to that, I'm going to add some sugar. Now, it recommends 150 grams of sugar, but I'm a firm believer in keep tasting it until it's the right consistency. This is a dessert spoon that I've got. And I'm going to put 3 in to start off with, because I like my stuff to have a little tiny bite. That's 3 heaped, by the way, not 3 level, just so you know. And we're going to let that dissolve. That's caster sugar, so it won't take as long to dissolve. So we're essentially making a compote here. Just try it and see what you think. So I've got a little bit there. For me, that needs a little bit more. But everybody's fruit is different, so you need to gauge it yourself. Just keep tasting. I'm going to add 2. So that's 5 heaped dessert spoons. Depending on where you get your frozen fruit, it will be different, and depending on where you get your fresh fruit, it will be a lot sweeter. Then take in a teaspoon again. Oh, that's heaps better. That's for me, that'll do me. Now you could add some alcohol at this point if you wanted. I'm not going to. Campari has been suggested by somebody, cassis, bit of Cointreau even, any of that sort of stuff. So this is my compote of sorts, my innards for my mould here, and I'm just going to pack it in. So I would advise, because of the steam and everything, spoon it in rather than throwing it in, because honestly it's too dangerous, people. This will burn. Look at that. all those luscious strawberries, blackberries, tayberries, currants. Oh, it's lovely. This is going to be so full of fruit, it'll remind you of summer. So about 1 centimetre off the top, just pop that to one side. And we're going to make a top for it now. And we need some bread. So I've got 2 slices here, hoping it'll work. And we're going to cut them into triangles, I feel would be a good idea. But it's up to you. Now then, so we're going to go on and overlap them. Unless you've got a big circle, it won't overlap. It won't work, I'm afraid. So I'm going to pop it like so, just to make it look pretty. But it doesn't matter, because remember, this is the base, guys. Let's pop that on. I need a little bit more for that corner. Just make sure that it overlaps everything, because otherwise it'll come out. And we don't want it to come out, she said. So I'm going to pop that there and that there. And hopefully that'll work, she says. Okay, so now we're going to bring our cling film up and over. So leave a little bit on the edge there, over. So make sure you get it down on the sides. Taking a tea plate, pop it on the top and press down. And yes, press down. And we need to put a heavy weight on the top of there. And now I'm thinking I don't have a heavy weight except me. So the heaviest thing in my arsenal, my pestle and mortar bowl. This is my mortar. I think I'll turn it the other way actually. There we go, that's the heaviest thing I've got. And I'm going to, when it cools down, because it's still quite hot, I'm going to pop this in the fridge overnight. So it's time for the unveiling of my summer pudding. So it's been sitting in the fridge. This is the first time I've actually looked at it. Hasn't quite come through on the bottom. I think that's because I've had it upside down, as in this way around instead of inverted. But that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of the leftover compote onto my plate. Yeah, there we go. Would run down, wouldn't it? Pop that there. And I'm going to just pop that to one side for a second. I'm going to take this out of the bowl and hopefully invert it onto here. So there we go, not too bad. Hopefully, now then, this is the reason why we have extra, according to the lady that made this recipe, this is why we have extra sauce. She suggests, and she's quite right, number one, pouring a bit over, just a bit, want it to look nice, and then taking a brush and just painting it in so that it looks good. Now I've had this before many times, it's gorgeous, just remind you of a lovely summer day. Okay, the bread reacts like sponge. Ooh, can I get it out? Yep, I can. There we go. And that's what the inside looks like. Woohoo! See, this is the summer pudding, look at that. Cream over it. What does it taste like? Well, first of all, look at that. Just look at it. Bread is very spongy. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that's gorgeous. On a lovely day like today,
And believe me, it's 25 degrees outside at the moment. It's hot. This is so nice. It's cheap to make. You don't have to cook it. And it reminds me of sponge. I recommend that you try this. I really do. It's a lovely, lovely pudding. And you can change it around according to what you want. Look at that. It's just full of fruit. Lovely. Make it.